Hi students, Pete Posner here with another lesson, and today we're going to look at already and yet with the present perfect. Let's start with already. Okay, so already is used to say something has happened early or earlier than it could have happened. So we mean earlier than we expected. Okay, for example, the plane has already left. Okay, so we didn't expect it to leave so soon. Okay, so it left earlier than expected. Okay, look at the form here. So we start with the auxiliary have or has. Okay, then already. Okay, and then the past participle. Okay, so that's the form, a form of the auxiliary have, then already, and then the past participle. Okay, notice you can also use the past simple in American English. Okay, so in British English, usually we would use the present perfect. The plane has already left, but it's common in American English to use the past simple. The plane already left. Okay, also notice that we can also use already at the end of the sentence. Right, so usually it's in the middle, as we saw here, but it's common to use it also at the end if we want extra emphasis. Okay, so here, for example, the plane has left already. Okay, so let's practice that first. Okay, look at this example, right? So number one. So A says, don't forget to do, oh, just a little mistake there. Don't forget to do your homework, Sam. Okay, B's reply, here are the prompts. It's okay, mum, I do it. So you have to write the sentence using those prompts. Okay, so it's okay, mum, I've already done it. Okay, so remember to use the present perfect with auxiliary have, already, and then the past participle. In this case, done, because the verb was do. Okay. Okay, so do the same for number 2 and number 3. Pause your video, take 2 minutes, and then we'll check together. Okay, how did you do? So number 2, A says, you should try the new Italian restaurant in town. It's great. Okay, B's response, these are the prompts, and here is the sentence. I know, I've already been there. The food is delicious. Okay, so again, you have the auxiliary have, here with the contraction, I have, or I've, already, and then the past participle. I've already been there. And number 3, so we got John is very efficient. He finished next week's assignment. Those are the prompts. Okay, so you could say with the um, present perfect, so he has auxiliary third person singular, right? So he has already finished next week's assignment, or we can use the contraction he has or he's already finished next week's assignment. Okay, now let's look at yet. So we use yet with the present perfect to show that something is not complete, but that we will complete it in the future. And we use yet in negative sentences. Okay, and yet usually comes at the end of the sentence. Okay, so example. Today we learned all sorts of things that we haven't studied at school yet. Okay, so this means the person thinks that he or she will probably study these things at school in the future, but we haven't studied them yet. Okay, so again we've got present perfect, right? We've got haven't, the auxiliary in the negative, then the past participle, studied, the rest of the phrase, at school, and then at the end of the sentence, yet. Okay, another example, according to one of the guides, most of the robots have been broken for a while, but they haven't fixed them yet. Okay, so this person thinks that they will fix them, right, in the future, but they haven't yet. Okay, so again we have auxiliary haven't, past participle fixed, them, and then at the end of the sentence, yet. Okay, also, so that's in negatives, right? We also use yet in questions to ask if something is finished. Okay, so here we've got, have you seen the exhibition yet? So it's a question, so we have the auxiliary first, have, and then the subject. Okay, so you have to make this inversion. So again, in the negative, first you have the subject, right? You have we, and then the auxiliary, haven't studied. We haven't, yeah? In the question, it's the other way. Have you, first auxiliary, then you, and then the past participle. Have you seen the exhibition? And yet is at the end, right? So this means that the person thinks that probably the other person will see the exhibition, but doesn't know if they already went or not. Yeah. Okay, or another example. Has she arrived yet? So again, auxiliary, this time third person singular, has, subject she, past participle, arrived, and at the end, yet. Has she arrived yet? So this person expects her to be here, but is asking the question. Yeah. So that's with yet. Okay, so let's practice that. Okay, make another sentence using not yet. Use the words provided in brackets. For example, we have number 10, he is writing his report, and in brackets, finished. Finished, sorry. So, he hasn't finished it yet. Like, he hasn't finished his report yet. He hasn't finished it yet. Okay, so again, remember the form. So we have a form of have in the negative. In this case, third person singular. He hasn't. Past participle. He hasn't finished. Here we have it to replace his report. Yeah. And finally, the word yet. All right. Okay, so pause the video and do the same for 11 through to 14, and then we'll check together. Okay, let's check together. Number 11, Kyle is waiting at the station. Train departed. Okay, so the train hasn't departed yet. Okay, number 12, it is snowing. Stop. So it hasn't stopped yet. 13, I'm looking for my keys. Find. I haven't found them yet. And 14, I'm thinking about which college to go to next year. Make a decision. I haven't made a decision yet. Okay, so there you go, yes? So we looked at the present perfect with already and yet. I hope that was useful for you, and I'll see you next time.